You're probably wondering why we haven't seen any new generations of processors from Intel and AMD. I mean, we're still using the same old Core i9 and Ryzen 9 at most. What's holding them back from getting a new successor? Well, the truth is, making newer, faster processors is getting really hard. You might have heard about the limit of how far a processor can go. Now, that thing is no longer a future stuff. Our current manufacturing processes are already about to reach their limits. We're talking about sizes that are measured in nanometers, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to shrink those sizes further. There are several challenges that Intel and AMD are facing. One of the main ones is the cost of developing new manufacturing processes. It's becoming prohibitively expensive to build new factories and develop new chip technologies for these companies. Another challenge is the physical limitations of silicon. We're getting to the point where it's impossible to shrink transistors any further without running into physical limitations. And because of these challenges, Intel and AMD are shifting their focus to new architectures and designs. Think of it like building a house with different materials, like wood or steel, instead of just using bricks. For example, Intel is working on something called hybrid architectures. It's like a team of different specialists working together to get the job done. AMD, on the other hand, is focusing on optimizing their existing architectures. It's like fine-tuning a car engine to make it run faster and more efficient. But here's the thing, while Intel and AMD are making progress, they're not really pushing the boundaries of what's possible. I mean, we're still waiting for the successors of the Core i9 and Ryzen 9. Meanwhile, other companies like NVIDIA, Apple, and Qualcomm are making huge strides in their respective fields. Recently, NVIDIA got their new RTX 50 series, which superseded their previous RTX 40 series by huge numbers. Apple's got their M1, M2, and M3 chips, while in smartphones MediaTek and Qualcomm's got their new chips. And it's not just these companies that are innovating. We're also seeing new players enter the market, like ARM and RISC-V. These companies are developing new architectures that are designed to be more efficient and scalable. So, what does this mean for the future? Well, it's hard to say for sure. But one thing's for certain. The processor market is going to get a lot more interesting in the next few years. We might see new players enter the market, or we might see Intel and AMD come up with something entirely new. One thing's for sure, though. The future of processors is going to be shaped by the choices we make today. And if Intel and AMD don't innovate, they risk being left behind. Because the market is moving fast, and if they don't keep up, they'll lose their competitive edge, and we'll end up seeing how another company enters the industry and takes all of their market share. So, that's the current state of the processor market. It's an exciting time, and we'll have to wait and see what the future holds.